Oh, yeah. So, what do I talk about? This is one of those recordings where I haven't even planned and I haven't even thought properly about what to talk about. So, this is going to be so random and it is off the script. So, I may make mistakes here and there in terms of sentence structures. And I know I'm not perfect and I'm okay with that. So that's what you should be taking note of if you are also a language learner. Okay? So, why am I recording this video? So the thing is, I haven't really made any episodes in 2025, although I did release two episodes earlier in the year, one in the middle and one in January. So the one in January was the constellations, which I believe many of my listeners love. And the second one is the 70th episode, where I started testing out with the video version of my podcast. And there I answer all those questions submitted by superfans of yours truly. And and that was great. It was like a long episode. And since then, I haven't really made any episodes. The reason, the actual reason that I'm recording this is to let you guys know, let you fans, super fans everywhere around the world know that I haven't been able to put out episodes because there's been so many challenges in my life, in my personal life. And I've gone through some health problems. I've gone through family problems, and I have gone through financial crisis and also relocation and other sorts of things. So let's say in general, life, right? So life gets in the way in a lot more complicated ways than I ever imagined. So I couldn't manage, and which is why I I really couldn't do that. I mean, I had some thoughts. I did have some ideas, but I couldn't develop these ideas into fruition. So I'm left with only one options. Now that it's approaching the end of 2025, I have to just make an episode, just record this camera and keep it rolling, and then just let my fans know whatever I've been feeling about me not putting out or not being able to put out episodes as much as I wanted. So yeah, so I would say I haven't been in the best possible mindset because I've got knocked down by life. But here is something I have learned while trying to overcome all those things. And this is related to health, physical health. And a while ago, I think in September, no, maybe in October, I don't remember exactly, I uploaded a video about how I'm setting up my walk decks to be different from the previous version to make it more ergonomics. So if you haven't watched the video, you should totally watch that. And it's on Facebook. I'm not sure if I posted that on YouTube as well, but we'll see. And yeah, what I have learned in especially in the second half of this year is about health. And this one is a new one on top of what I've already learned about ergonomics. This one is really, really about dealing with stress. And also, it's about dealing with a little bit high blood pressure. I would say a mild blood pressure. Yeah. So, What is it about? What exactly is it? There are two things that I want you to know. Just very simple principles. Okay? Move first, eat later. Okay? Move first, eat later. That is super important. So our biology is not designed to be sitting around all day and then all of a sudden you go to the gym or you go out for a run or a swim and then the rest of the week you just sit back like a dead log. No, our bodies are not designed to be that way. So what I've really learned and implemented in the last few months is that I try to move first before I have a meal. So that means I am doing exercise like 3 times a day. And by exercise, I don't mean going heavy on each set each time. I only mean very light, extremely moderate level of exercises. So, for example, before I have breakfast, I would just do like 5 push-ups and then 5 sit-ups, and then I would just use some dumbbells to just lift up my arms, and then I will do maybe the squats, yeah, five times with the weights, and that's it. It's so quick, it just got it done so quickly. So it only take like 7 minutes or so, and then I'm done with exercise, the morning exercise. So now I go have shower, and then I have my breakfast, and then I feel great. And then before lunch, I do that again. So this time maybe a slight variation, maybe change the repetitions, change the reps a little bit, and sometimes it is a little heavier than the morning set. Sometimes it is lighter than the morning set. And then I go eat my lunch. And then I feel great. And then in the evening, maybe late afternoon or in the evening, before my dinner, I make sure I have this set of exercise again. So every day I'm spending even less than 30 minutes of exercise, but it's spread out the entire day, at least 2 or 3 times a day before a meal. Like I said, eat first. Move first, eat later. And then when I started doing that, in just a few days or so, my blood pressure would go down to the level I wanted, and I felt great. It's crazy. Before trying that, I experimented with walking out and about for 30 minutes and up to 1 hour. But walking takes time, right? So you have to get out, and then you have to manage a few things, shift things around, and you have to really take time. If you don't take time, walking can be stressful because, the city life is not that great for strolling around the area. So after trying that walking, I know that walking definitely helps my heart rate, and it's definitely beneficial for blood pressure issues. So I try walking, but moving first, eating later routine is even more effective, at least for me. It's just incredibly effective. In just 2 days, I got my body to where I wanted. So I kept doing it, and I've been feeling so great about my health. And of course, I do go out and I jog sometimes. Sometimes I jog for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes I take long walks. At one point, I was heading from the downtown area to my home, which took me like nearly 2 hours of walking. So that was fun. And I've been doing those things, and it's really, really good for my health. So I want you guys to know about this thing, right? Just just move first before you eat. Just a bit. Even 5 minutes of exercise spread out across the day can be more effective than just binge doing your workout once or twice a week, or even 3 times a week. So that's something you should experiment with. That's one thing. And then the other thing is, if you really, really want to manage the work life balance of your life, you also need to know how to wind down. And I learned something truly valuable. It's that I always have some thoughts in the back of my head telling me to do things, telling me to not stop. And I realized that most of my stress, whether it is coming from work or family or finance or social or whatever it may be, right? The stress happens either because of greed or fear. What I mean by that is, if you are pursuing something so hard because you are so hungry for it, it sounds good theoretically, but in the long run, it's going to give you some stress because you are always hungry. You want to strive for more. You want to just get things done more than ever and try to be as efficient as possible. So it never stops. Work never ends. And your hunger doesn't stop. So it keeps going on and on and on and on like that forever. If you don't put a stop to yourself, it's never going to stop. So that's one thing with hunger or greed. That's actually greed. If you keep being hungry all the time, that's probably indicating that you have some form of greed. There's a strong sense of greed. So that's causing you some stress. And also fear can be one of the biggest contributor to your stress level. So back in our ancestors' time, our ancestors, they don't have to go through lots of stress throughout the day. Maybe they go through high level of stress. They go up high when they are facing maybe some tigers are chasing them. They're facing some life-threatening situations. And at that point, their stress will go high, maybe skyrocket high. But then, once they escaped, once they run away from the danger or overcome the danger, they just take rest. And nothing is going to interrupt their rest, their sleep, their peace. So it's episodic. The stress goes up, and then it slows down, and then it calms down, and it's dropped to a very peaceful level. So throughout the day, throughout the night, our ancestors will get proper rest. So it's actually even healthier to feel stress just for a short period of time, and then you just relax the other times. So compared to that, if you think about it, our modern life is the opposite of that. We have stress 24/7, all the time, all sort of stress coming from work, study, relationship, responsibility, social issues, political issues, all sorts of things. And most of all, the electronic devices are giving you notification every now and then. Social media is giving you anxiety or frustration. So All of these are contributing to non-stop level of stress. So even after you do exercise, your body is trying to rest, relax, but your mind is not really resting because you may be checking your phone and you may be dealing with modern lifestyle related issues. So the stress is always there. It's not that high like a life threatening situation, but it's always there. That is not good. So once I realized that, I try to look into my mind and I try to pinpoint where the fear is, what the fear is about. And once I focus on that fear, my stress goes away. So right now, let's say, for example, recording this episode without any preparation, all of a sudden, without even trying to make myself look good on camera. It is actually stressful. To be honest, it is. It is really stressful. But what's there to be stressed about? So I looked at myself and I focused on my mind as I'm speaking to you through the camera. Where is my fear? What am I fear of? What is it that I am fear of? And once I figure that out, I feel peace. Even when I'm recording this now, I don't feel any stress. I just let it be. This is what I'm feeling at this moment. This is what I have in my mind for my fans, for my students, for everyone who is listening. This is the message I want to give you for the next year or every new day of your life. Where is your stress? But more importantly, what are you fear of? What is your fear about? Just identify that fear and then just realize that in most cases, we are not experiencing life-threatening situations. So we can solve almost all of those problems. There are always solutions. There are always things we can do to make up for our mistakes or our screw-ups. You name it, we can fix those things. So what's there to be stressed about? No, there is nothing. So, yeah, that's the second most important thing that I want to share with you today. So let's recap. The first thing is about moving your body throughout the day. So the simple rule to remember is to move first, eat later. And then the other thing I want you to remember is to always really try to rest rather than being sucked into this vortex of endless stress-inducing experiences of modern life. And the way to do that is to just pause for a while and observe yourself and just pinpoint where your fear is. In most cases, you are fear of something and that's causing you stress, and that almost always can be fixed. So there you have it, my wisdom for 2025 and for my podcast fans and students. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time. And if you're watching this video on YouTube or social media somewhere down the line, please do give likes or thumbs up or comment my videos. Some engagement helps. I'm not saying that I really want those things. I'm not saying that I'm okay if you don't do that. I understand. But it would be great for other listeners or other potential viewers who might find this video or audio useful to them. So your sharing can help someone too. That's why I'm asking you to share. All right. So I'll see you in the next one. And until that time, move first, eat later, and determine what your fear is and fix it right away.